This is exactly how I would build a personal brand from scratch if I could start over in 2026, and this is the #1 content strategy for any coaches and consultants who actually want to get clients from the content and not just be chasing views. So, for context, I spent the last 2 years deep in the personal branding space. I went from posting for 8 months with absolutely nothing to show for it, to then growing from 2,000 to 16,000 followers in just 91 days and landing 3 high-ticket clients without even having an offer, purely just from building trust. And to date, I've helped business owners like Lewis go from a year of no clients from his organic content stuck at 12K a month to hitting 64K in a single month with no viral videos or any paid ads. I've helped fitness coaches like Gabriel go from 6 months of dead content to making 7 grand from just his second reel working together. And it even works with Danish women's boxing gyms, as my boy Sune booked 24 calls in 5 weeks, converting 18 of them and making £11,000. He even fired his ads agency afterwards because purely his organic was crushing. Joey went from no business to making 8K in just 47 days, even landing 2 RevShare clients, and Zach hit multiple viral videos already in his first month following this exact approach. Now, enough of the look at me's. I'm just here to show you how the old way of getting clients from content, posting tips, going viral, hoping someone eventually buys is dead. And there's a new way that coaches and consultants need to follow in 2026 if they actually want predictable and consistent inbound clients from their content. After all that time building personal brands for mine and for others, I'm going to go over exactly what has worked for me, for my clients, what's a waste of time, and what I'd do differently if I was starting from scratch today. If I could go back in time, knowing what I know now, this is the exact step-by-step playbook I'd follow. So look, strap yourselves in, get comfortable, we're about to dive into things. So, step 1 is fuck the gurus. Unlearn every single thing you've seen in any content playbook you've got from a free value course or what anyone with 1 million followers and just blasting views gets, because that is not the way of building a brand in 2026 anymore. Gone are the days where all you needed was views and followers in order to sell a 5K program. You need trust more so than anything else. By following what the gurus tell you, which is getting as many eyeballs, as many views, as many followers, as much reach, that inevitably you're going to make sales and get more revenue, right? Wrong. And the reason for that is because by copying all these other creators without any intent behind it or without any strategy, but just seeing a video go viral and be like, okay, I'll do that and see if anyone can follow me from it and then buy from my program, that ain't gonna work. And it's because you'll then fall into one of these 3 traps in order to do so. Because if you just copied the gurus and the guys who are already at the top doing well, it's not gonna work for you, because what worked for them 5 years ago will not build the same brand as it had for them. Because they've already built their audience. They've already connected with their audience. They've already built that credibility. You can't then just go and copy a creator with 2 million views, copy their video, the Alex Hormozy speaking on like 3 business tips, and then expect to get the same success and results from that same video, right? The first trap is posting lifestyle only. The people who might come to mind for you on this are traders, some dropshippers, mainly fucking traders, where they show the Lambos, the watches, the Rolexes, the lifestyle, the villas, but they don't actually show you the journey. They just show you the wins and the highs, and they think, oh, well, if I show my lifestyle, that people are actually gonna, buy into me and buy from me. But that couldn't be further from the truth, because you're not showing someone the pathway of how you achieve that thing, so you don't have trust. You might get eyeballs and reach because you're living a lavish lifestyle and showing off these cars and watches, but no one's gonna trust from you, especially because they've not seen your journey as the same way they've seen this guru, because this guru would have documented most things. You don't have that same ability right now. You need to focus on building a brand and building trust and connection with your audience first. Trap 2 is tactics only. Now, who comes to mind when I think of tactics only is high ticket sales coaches, where it is more so just objection handling videos, or if it's fitness coaches, it's just 3 tips to lose weight and burn calories. Like, come on, bro, like everyone knows how to do these things. That's not gonna be enough to sell your course, your program, your one-to-one, your coaching community. Whatever you're trying to market, it's not going to be enough anymore. Gone are the days again where the gurus in the old time would just post a value video and some tips and be like, buy my course or buy my program, and they would sell because it was very scarce at the time, no one was doing it. Whereas now everyone does it. So you'll blend into the bullshit of noise online. What you want to do is separate yourself. And if you only post tactics and you only post value, then yes, it might be good value, it might be good tactics, it might even be your own tactics. But if you only post that and you don't show depth to you, who you are as a person and your personality, then all you're going to be remembered for is the tactics, and you won't be getting bought from because no one's connecting with you. They'll just save your videos like, that's a good objection handle, use it and forget about you. What you want to do is build resonance and connection with your audience, and by sticking to tactics only, you think you're giving value, but value is no longer enough. Anyone can copy an objection handle thing and then go and make it themselves. The things that people can't copy is your story, the moments you've lived, the experiences you've had, your values, your lessons, your beliefs, your insights, the things that genuinely make you you, that make you unique, that puts you in your own lane. Those are the things that you need to focus on instead of just doing tactics or lifestyle only. Trap 3, this one's a lot more simpler. It's just posting. You have no idea what you're posting. You have no idea what the strategy is behind any videos, what your intent is. You see a video, you copy it, you post it, and you're like, why am I not getting success? Why am I not getting views? Why am I not making money? Because this guy's doing it and he's getting success, but I'm not. And by following this approach of just throwing shit at the wall and hoping it sticks, you'll never build a successful personal brand or anything with depth because you're just copying everyone else. By focusing on the intent behind every single video, that is how you'll actually build a strategic personal brand, and every single video you post will have intent behind it to either connect, nurture, or convert. You don't want to fall into either one of these 3 content traps, or you'll be spinning your wheels for months like I did. What you want to do is build with intent, which leads us on to the next step, becoming your own niche. So firstly, I want to start by saying that I made all these months of mistakes and errors and lost out on so much money because I was chasing what I thought had worked and found myself falling into all these content traps. But only once I understood this one concept that I now live and die by in personal branding for myself and all my clients, was it until I actually started seeing success, growing my brand and converting my followers into buyers. And it's this simple line that I want you to walk away with today if you walk away with nothing else. Personal branding is just human connection on a digital scale. It's simply an extension of who you are as a human being. Who you are offline needs to be exactly who you are online. So with that being said, that is why we focus so much on making you the niche, because that is what makes it unreplicatable and undeniably you. By the way, if you want help implementing any of the things we're going over in this video, mapping out your strategy, building your trust funnel, or building out reels that are actually going to convert and connect with your audience, then book a link in the call in the description below and I can show you exactly how this will work for you and your business and your brand. Now, the example I want to lead you with why it's so important to become your own niche in personal branding is because let's say you're a fitness coach or a high ticket sales coach and you're posting the objection handling videos, which you see every high ticket sales coach do and go through the same. Do you mind if I share you another perspective? Or can I share my opinion on that? Actually, no one says that last one, but you get the point. It's all the same regurgitated noise bullshit you see online. And then same with fitness coaches, it's top 3 fat loss tips or top 3 chest exercises. Like, people know this shit already. The majority aren't that far under a rock. And gone are the days where you can just post value and it just convert and bring you leads and bring you sales. By becoming your own niche, you stand in your own lane. You become a unique personal brand, undeniably you, unreplicatable, and no one can copy the life you've lived, the moments you've experienced, the story you've lived, the story you can tell, your beliefs, your values, your lessons, your insights, your wins, struggles, losses, experiences, your belief shifts, your hero arc moments, your rock bottoms, like all these things that inherently make you you, that not a single person on this planet could tell the exact same story that you could in all those categories I just mentioned. That's what makes you your own niche. And what we focus on, and what you usually focus on, is how you can turn all these elements that makes you uniquely you and position it in a way that benefits your business or benefits lessons you've learned that then impacts your business or solves problems for what your ideal audience wants to solve. And something that I always hear people say when it comes to storytelling or becoming your own niche is people think that they aren't as interested enough to tell their story or to show their lives. So that's why they just copy other people who are successful, because they think that's going to make them money and they're too afraid to speak on their own life because it's vulnerable or to show that they're a mess. And a lot of the issues that I see people come to me, or a lot of the guys I've worked with have come to me with this whole front, is they are hiding parts of themselves because they're trying to be this perfect person, because they believe in their eyes, if I show up as this perfect person, I never make mistakes, that people will buy from me because they see me as an expert and like I never make mistakes. But that could not be further from the truth, especially in today's day and age. Because what is more believable? Someone who's perfect and never has made a single mistake in their lives, or someone who's just a human figuring shit out in real time, who just happens to solve a few problems, who just might be a few steps ahead of you, who can solve your problems. Now, similarly, when coaches come to me, someone might be a fitness coach and not speak about them going out every weekend because they thinks it detriments their brand, but it actually adds to their brand. Their vulnerabilities and the things that make them unpolished, the thing that makes them authentically them, is the things that will sell and the things that will promote and grow your personal brand. Your weaknesses and your vulnerabilities that you're actually hiding from are the golden nuggets of what is going to build your brand in this day and age. Personal branding is just human connection on a digital scale. If you focus on the connection first, everything will become 1,000,000 times easier downstream from anything you do. Focus on human connection, the brand will build itself. For example, my boy Sune runs a Danish women's boxing gym in Copenhagen, right? And he was trying to build out his brand. He didn't have many followers in his audience and was trying to build this in-person gym from scratch. Now he was copying all the big gyms, you know, the 200, 300K followers who already had built that following, already built that audience, who were just posting videos on the pads, and that was pretty much it. They were getting views, getting engagement, so he did the same, but he couldn't get any people into his gym from posting that content. But he was copying the successful gyms and he couldn't understand why it didn't work. So we started working together and we dived into the actual reason behind why he started the gym, his story, what makes it unique to him, and all the things that are unique to how Sune's lived his life that no one else could tell. And what we found was, the reason why Sune built a women's only gym is because he didn't have that many men in his life when he was growing up, and he was pretty much raised by women. So he has massive respect for them, feels like he understands them more than he does men, so he wanted to give back to the women in his lives by building a women's boxing gym to help them get out of their own heads. Now, do you see how much more powerful that is as content to resonate with his ICP and his audience, which would be 25-year-old to 30-year-old Danish women living in Copenhagen? Do you see how that would connect to them way more than just random girls on the pads trying to promote girls to join boxing? Because this way might bring in a few boxers here and there, but this way, by actually connecting your ICP deeply and resonating with them, this convinces women who don't even give a fuck about boxing to want to start boxing because they connect to Sune so much and resonate with him so much that they want to be a part of the project he's building because of how deep rooted the emotion and the resonance is with his project. That is the power of becoming your own niche and putting yourself in your own lane, because you can go and copy everyone else, or you can build a one-of-one personal brand where people will flock towards you because of the message and the power and the mission of what you're on. So where does that leave us now? Now is about building out a content funnel, having intent behind every single video you post, and if you've not got that in place, then don't post a single video because you're wasting your time. So what I mean when I say a content funnel is you should post content with every single piece should have purpose or intent behind it. And what I mean by that is following a funnel structure. You either have top of funnel, middle funnel, bottom of funnel. Top of funnel content, as you can imagine, you want to turn people from cold traffic, never watch the video, to then warm buyers and nurturing them down to the point where they get on a call, pre-sold, ready to buy, card in hand, whack it on the Klarna, 24-month payment plan, whatever it is. But my point being is the top of funnel content is for a wider audience to get as much reach as possible, still to your ideal audience, but this is purely to connect with your audience. You've then got middle of funnel content, which is purely to nurture your audience and become an authority, to show your expertise and you can solve problems. And then thirdly, you have bottom of funnel content. Bottom of funnel content is purely to convert the traffic you've now got, the people who are already warm, to actually show you can get the results you say and show your case studies, show your breakdowns and show your results. A top of funnel video might be a storytelling reel or a POV or a text on screen or a raw talking head. A middle funnel might be a video like 3 tips, a value piece, or showing some expertise you had or a problem you had in your business, let's say e-com, and how you solved that one problem, for example. And the bottom of funnel would be like, this is my client who went from X to X, 12K to 64K, and these are the results he got, and this is what we did, blah, 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 blah. As you can see, each type of video gets smaller and smaller and smaller, defined down to the ideal person that we want to work with, to the point where they're just over the line, ready to buy. Now, the important part of this is if you don't follow this intent or purpose, and you don't follow the funnel structure, you only do top of funnel content. You'll build a massive following, but no one's going to buy from you because they don't see you as someone who can actually solve problems or nurture them, and they're not seeing any results you've got. So you might build a following and a brand, you'll make no money. If you only do middle funnel and you show you can only solve problems, they might see you as a problem solver, you'll probably get people through the door, but it won't be anywhere near as efficient as showing you actually as a human as well, and like you deal with real life shit and you're not just someone who does sales or does e-com, right? And same with bottom funnel content. If you only show your results and nothing about how you actually solve the problem or how you connect with other people and the life you lived, then you're just going to be seen as probably a scammer because they're like, well, I don't even know if I trust this guy. Like, he just shows me he's making 20K a month each month. The reason why this funnel is so important is because at its purest format, it takes a stranger to a follower to a buyer. It's as simple as that. Follow these 3 steps and you will build your business and you will build your brand without fail in 2026. Step 4, you need to master storytelling as a skill and focus on connection as the foundation in all your content. Everyone I see on social media right now says storytelling, 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 tell stories, it'll blow you up, it's how to go viral, blah, with no impetus or reason as to why storytelling works. Storytelling is so valuable, not only because A, is it the #1 skill that has traveled through millennium of how to build trust and connect with other humans. For example, if you don't believe that at its core, what is Christianity? You only know that because you read a book. You only know that because that book is a story. Realistically, Christianity is just pages. Jesus has a fucking personal brand. Like, this is the point I'm trying to make, because literally think of Christianity at its core, right? The beliefs it instills within you, the worldviews it makes you have, and the changes you then have in your life because of what this book tells you or what this story of Jesus is and why you follow his beliefs. That is itself the power of Jesus' personal brand. It sounds crazy, but genuinely think about it. And Christianity is just the story he is telling and trying to influence people to live in a certain way of life that he believes to be true. Now, actually translate that to what most people are doing on content. That is, in and of itself, exactly what every single person is trying to achieve with their personal brand, and it's the best way to probably market their business by building that cult-like community following. And the way to do that and to build your own Christianity is by telling stories. But a lot of people will hear the term storytelling and just think, if I tell stories and I speak on my life, then I should go viral, right? But that alone itself is not the skill of storytelling. You might be telling stories, but storytelling is a skill in itself in a way that you communicate. The art of storytelling is how you can make a viewer feel, connect, relate to you, inciting emotions, actions, inspiration, a change in their life, a change in their beliefs. But again, if you just speak on the life you have lived, it's not going to be enough, because everyone might have lived a life, everyone might have gone to a similar school or gone to a similar football thing and had an embarrassing moment. But the thing that makes people connect and turns just a story into something that connects and resonates with your viewer is the lesson you've learned, the shift of belief you've had, or the emotional resonance you then got from that experience. So what I'm trying to say by that is the story itself is what has happened, the experience, the moments. How a good storyteller then connects with his audience is by bridging that gap into making them view, feel, incite an emotion, or change things through their experience and lived shared moments, let's say. Example A, Gabriel, my boy. He came to me 6 months, posting pretty shit content, he knew that, but he never really told stories, he was afraid to speak on camera. Well, not afraid, I don't want to do my boy disservice, but he just wasn't speaking on camera. And when he actually told this story on his second reel, we did a bottom of funnel storytelling reel to try and convert his audience, showing how he took his friend from point A to point B, but not just showing the result in a way that was, oh, look at me, look what I did, but connecting with the viewer and connected to their pain points and how that viewer would resonate with the transformation of what his friend went through. And within his second reel we did together, he made £7,000 from a singular reel, all organic, no paid ads, no outreach, no nothing. Everyone came to him completely because they resonate so much in the transformation of his client, because he treated them as a friend, his positioning, and how he told the story literally gravitated people towards him. So like, I see myself in Sal. His name was Sal. I see myself in Sal so much that I need to be like Sal, and Gabriel was the bridge of how he took that transformation, so I need to pay Gabriel. And that's how he made £7,000 from a singular reel, and it got about 1,500 views. Again, linking to the point before about you don't need views or followers, you just need a few motherfuckers who trust you so deeply, which is why this whole strategy that I'm telling you now, all the different steps, is so important. Gabriel was the same person, he lived the same life, he had the same expertise, and he got the same result, but he just packaged it in a way that was way more different, resonated with his viewer, targeted their pain points, and actually connected with them, which is then what made them buy from him. Because before that, he was still the same person, everything else, but just didn't convert. But by packaging it in a story and connecting with the viewer and focusing on them, that's how he then managed to get 4 people over the line and pay £7,000. Completely the same person, completely different approach, completely different outcome. That is all. Now, step 5, stop chasing views and start gaining trust. We've already touched on this concept throughout the whole video in pieces and bits, because it is, well, in essence, trust is the most valuable currency in social media, business, humanity, sales, personal branding, whatever it is the most valuable currency and the thing you should farm the most in order to grow whatever you're trying to grow. If it's a person, self-development, business, whatever it is. Trust is the foundation of all of it. So to build trust, we focus on connection. For example, when I had 9 million views in 90 days, it was a 3-month stint back in July in Bali, and I had 9 million views. I was broke as fuck. I made $0, absolute zero. I was probably in an overdraft at the time, not gonna lie, just invested into a mentor. And that was purely from doing loads of skip videos, copying viral creators, all the mistakes I said to avoid. It got me the views. But this is why I'm telling you that it's not the things we need the trust. Because once I focused on storytelling, speaking to a hyper-specific ICP, the audience, their pains, their desires, their outcomes, their struggles, their goals, my views went down probably 100 times. Well, I don't know the actual conversion, but my views plummeted. My bank account 10x'd. Now I've signed 11 high-ticket clients in the last 3 months purely from this approach. And the one thing I want to make you brutally aware aware of within this is trust is what will actually get people over the line, and storytelling is just the best vehicle to build trust. But in and of itself, the essence of why this works is because you are connecting with other humans. Because again, I want you to come away from this video and understand that personal branding is just human connection on a digital scale. And also, by building your brand this way, it just makes it way more fucking fun, because you're not desperate to sell, you're not begging for sales, you're not relying on your content to sell. And funnily enough, once you detach from that need to sell and you're so scarce about it, and you just focus on connecting with other humans, funnily enough, that's actually when you sell the most. And that's when sales come towards you. And it's a beautiful thing because you're completely detached from it happening, and it happens in abundance. Because I don't know about you, but I'd rather connect with 100 people who are bad motherfuckers who want to work with me, buy from me, inspired by me, change their lives because of what I say, than 50,000 people or 50,000 grannies who might scroll past my content. But there's a lot of followers and a lot of views, but it means fuck all unless they're my people who want to work with me, look up to me, inspired by me, and will buy whatever I'm selling. And this approach alone is what gets Sune, I'm pretty sure it was like 18 or 19 book calls in just 2 weeks from the approach we mentioned before of actually honing in on his story and building trust with his audience. And same with Joey, he had no business when he started with me, and we got hyper specific on speaking to his ICP and building trust with creators, and he got 18 book calls again in 2 weeks from having no business. He didn't get viral videos, he had maybe 3 videos above 1,000 views because it was a fresh account, but all he did was speak to that hyper specific person, and people came to him because he understood their problems, he connected with them, he had trust, and they bought from him. I want you to take this away. Views are vanity, trust is revenue. Simple as that. And for the final step, this is just recapping steps 1 to 5 together, which is step 6, let the sales come to you. Once you execute steps 1 to 5 properly, people will literally pre-sell themselves and come to you ready to buy, because your content does the heavy lifting. Your content sells them. You're already hitting every piece of trust building with them by connecting, nurturing, converting. They get onto a call with no objections, ready to buy. Lewis, who went from 12K to 64K a month, was taking hour-long sales calls for a no-brainer offer where he saves business owners tens of thousands a month in tax, but he was still having objections and hour-long calls. Once he focused on this approach and doing steps 1 to 5 so viscerally in his content, he even had a 4-minute sales call where someone came on and piffed £6,000. He had another DM where someone bought £6,000 again straight in the DMs because his content did the heavy lifting. And if you execute steps 1 to 5 properly, these are the same results you'll see within your business because you're already doing everything necessary on a sales call within the content. Pre-selling, warm buying prospects ready to you. And again, for my own example, I landed 3 hard-to-get clients without a single offer. I didn't have a business set up. Because I was focusing so much on this in my content, I spawned a business out of nowhere because people wanted to work with me. 3 people came to me on a call, wanting to get on a call, wanting to work with me when I had no business. That is the power of taking these steps and these executions I'm telling you. Now in the last 3 months, I've signed 11 high-ticket clients from this exact same approach, and I haven't ran any paid ads. I've had a few viral videos, but my point being, you don't need to go viral or to funnel loads of money into ads if you follow this personal brand strategy and build your brand the right way in 2026. And that is literally the exact step-by-step process on how I would build a personal brand from scratch in 2026 to save months of posting mindlessly. This is by far the best and most fun content strategy for coaches and consultants who want to actually get clients from the content, not just rack up pointless views. So if you follow every single step in this video to a T, I promise you, you will start attracting clients from your content instead of desperately chasing them. But look, doing this alone is clearly easier said than done. You've got to figure out how to best turn your life experiences to actual make compelling stories, what those lessons are, which ones fall flat, and how to actually connect with your ideal audience. You've got to learn how to structure your content through the trust funnel when you've never thought about content in that way before. And you've got to do all this while simultaneously running your business, serving your clients, taking sales calls, unable to waste time, and still keeping the lights on at home. So with everything I've given you, you really have 2 options. Do it yourself, knowing that it took me a good 12 months of trial and error before I even cracked minimal success. So I would wish you the best of luck on that. Or you can just work with me so I can map out your entire content strategy, pull out your most powerful stories, build your trust funnel, and get you generating inbound client inquiries in weeks instead of months. If you pick the second option, then click the link in the description to book a call with me, and I'll show you exactly how this would work for you, your brand, and your business. Also, check out this video on the screen to learn how Gabriel made £5,642 in 24 days from content. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.